Okay, today we're going to talk about how to use the Punnett square to make predictions about offsprings of two parents. Okay. So, in this sheet here, we have two plants, parent 1, parent 2. They have the phenotype of tall and short, respectively, as you can see here, tall and short. The sheet also gives you what the genotype is, which is the more important bit for us. The tall parent has two capital T's. Remember that the capital T stands for the dominant gene. The dominant. Whereas the little t here on parent 2 stands for the recessive gene. Recessive. Okay. And we're going to use those genotypes to predict what kind of offspring they would produce. So let's come down to the Punnett square. It doesn't matter which parent goes on which side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put parent 1 over here, and I'm going to put parent 2 up on the top. Okay. You can put it the other way. It doesn't matter. It makes no difference. You still get the same answers. So if my first parent has two capital T's, as is shown over here with the genotype, what I do is I put one T on the first box and one T on the second box. It's going to be two capitals because the genotype is two capital T's. Parent 2 has two small letter T's, lowercase t's, so I'm going to put those two lowercase t's like this. Okay, so there's your parent 1 and parent 2. These four boxes here tells us the four possible gene combinations for our offspring. So I'm going to change colors here. For box 1, which is this one here, right, it's going to have a capital T from parent number 1 and a small t from parent number 2. So it's coming from here and here. For the second box here, you're going to get a capital T from over here, from parent number 1, and there's another small t from parent number 2 to give you capital T, small t. Okay. Continuing on, we're going to get a capital T and a small t for box 3 again, from these two. And lastly, we're going to get a capital T and a small t from here and from here. So you'll notice that all four boxes are the same. Yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you get four of the same boxes. So what does that tell us? Let's scroll down a bit. So what is the probability of having offspring with a genotype capital T, capital T? Well, you don't have any capital T's here, so it's going to be 0%. So 0%. I don't know why I did that. We'll just do two dots. There you go. Okay. So remember, each box represents 25% chance. Oops, that's not how you spell chance. A-N-C-E. Okay. So what is the probability of having offspring with a genotype capital T, little t? All four of them are capital T, little t's. So if you have 25%, you put them all together, that's 100%. And what's the probability of having offspring with genotype little t? There are no little t's here. So again, that is a 0%. Next question. What is the probability of having a tall offspring? Okay, so the tall offspring is not a genotype. They're asking for a phenotype. Okay. So if I look at the four boxes, they're the same box, so I really just have to look at one of them. What is the phenotype of this? If I have a capital T and a lower t. Remember that the capital T stands for the dominant gene. So the dominant gene is going to override the recessive gene, and you're going to get this one expressed. As in, what I mean by expressed is the offspring will actually display this trait here. It will not display this trait, the small t trait. So what does capital T stand for? Well, if we go up a little bit higher, if we look at parent number 1, the capital T is the tall phenotype, which means that anytime they have a capital T, it's always going to be a tall offspring. So what's the probability of getting a tall offspring? Well, every one of them is going to be a tall offspring because all of these boxes have capital T's. So it's 100%. And if it's 100% to get a tall offspring, it's 0% to get a short offspring. All right, so that was pretty easy. So there's the first Punnett square practice done. Let's go to the second one. So here we have human parents now instead of plants. We have parent number 1 with a phenotype of brown hair with a capital B lowercase b, and then parent 2 with a phenotype of brown hair also with a capital B lowercase b. So you have 2 of the same genotypes in this case. So I'm going to put parent 1. I'm going to do parent 1 up top this time. Let's use green. So parent 1 I'm going to put over here. We're going to do capital B lowercase b, and then parent 2 will go here with a capital B lowercase b. Okay. So if we use these letters to map out our Punnett square, we're going to get capital B here, a lowercase b, capital B. We have a capital B, lowercase b, and lastly we have 2 lowercase b's. So the 2 lowercase b's are coming from here and here. Alright, so in this case we actually have different possibilities for offsprings here. So what's the probability of having an offspring with a genotype capital B, capital B? So here, this is the only box with 2 capitals. So that means it's going to be 25%. There's only one box worth of it. What's the probability of having an offspring with a genotype capital B, lowercase b? Now, here I wrote it as lowercase b, capital B, but this is actually the same as that. Okay. In genetics, it doesn't matter which order you write it in. So you can write it as lowercase b, capital B, or capital B, lowercase b. Those represent the same answers. Technically, the standard practice is to write the capital first, no matter what. So we should technically be writing it like this. Okay. But whatever. The point is we have 2 boxes that share the same. This one and this one are exactly the same, which means that this gets 2 boxes for a combined 50%. What's the probability of an offspring with a genotype little b, little b? Well, little b only takes 1 box, so that's 25% right there. So if we look at question number 4, what is the probability of having an offspring with brown hair? Okay, so based on the parents, they both have brown hair, which suggests that the capital B is the dominant brown. Because if you have a dominant and a recessive, it's the dominant that gets expressed in the genotype. The recessive gene does not get expressed. So, which ones will have brown hair? Well, any box with a capital B will show up as brown hair. So which ones have capital B's in them? This one, this one, this one. That's 3 boxes. So 3 boxes combined is 75%. What's the probability of having an offspring with blonde hair? This is the only box with a blonde hair with 2 recessive genes, which makes it 25%. Alright, so that's how you fill out and that's how you read Punnett squares.